Welcome to Fringe Fanatics with Chad Lee and Chris Zane.
And we are back once again. It is episode 80 of Fringe Fanatics. We are coming at you live, hot and heavy.
We're in the 80s.
We're in the 80s, man.
We're climbing, man.
We are climbing in the 80s. It's happening, and we're getting ever so closer to that daunted episode 100, which I think we'll have something special planned for you guys.
Thinking about doing a live episode for maybe Wendy's or something.
Yeah,
never know.
Maybe we'll go to Applebee's.
That'd be a good. That would be a good one.
Nice little trip to the old neighborhood grill.
Get sponsored by him, maybe.
Yeah,
who knows?
no,
we'll see.
definitely.
But I am Chad Lee. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh yeah, and I am Chris Zane. As always, thank you for tuning
in case you weren't aware.
Yeah, if you didn't know by now, well, now you do.
Yep.
And if you haven't yet, please make sure to go like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on all things social media, as well as whatever you stream or listen to us on, because you must, and that is all you need to know.
Yeah,
so
just do it.
Yeah, just do it like Nike said. So let's get into episode number 80. As always, we are now doing featuring Jerry Rice this week. We're trying to do a player that features the number of the episode, or wore the number of the episode, if you will. So this week it is Mr. Jerry Rice, one of the best.
I think this is one that everybody knows. Even if you are in the dark and you don't know anything about football, you've probably heard of Jerry Rice. You know, sometimes when we do these, I learn about some of these guys that played way back in the day. But this is when I went through to the list of like, oh, who's the best to wear number 80? I was like, oh,
easy.
whoa, duh,
easy
money there.
We've been in a kind of a lull, not necessarily a lull, but the 70s and the 60s were a lot of offensive linemen
and hockey players,
defensive linemen, and hockey players.
Which is great. Learning.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about those guys. But now we're getting into the 80s, so now you're going to get the divas, the flashy ones, the tight ends, the wide receivers.
Definitely wide receivers in there for sure. So, and you've probably heard a lot about Jerry Rice, but we're going to, oh, wow, he has the same middle name as me. I didn't realize that.
Look at that. Chad
Jerry Lee Rice. We got something in common there.
That's my dad's first and middle name as well. So.
Oh, yeah. It's
Jerry
a really
Lee.
common middle
Jerry
name.
Lee. Yeah. So.
Yep. Rolls off the tongue.
Give us a little rundown of Mr. Jerry Lee Rice.
I will. He's an American former professional football player who was a wide receiver for 20 seasons in the National Football League. He won 3 Super Bowl titles with the 49ers before 2 shorter stints at the end of his career with the Oakland Raiders and Seattle Seahawks. I always forget about those Seahawks times. That is a faint memory.
Don't forget about that Bronco time either.
Jerry Rice was, but he got cut.
I think he
that's
got cut.
What it was. Yeah, that's probably why
they brought him in and then he got cut. But
no,
it was like the very end.
Well, it's just amazing that he kept getting after it, you know.
Yeah,
but nicknamed, for a while. Like he played 20 seasons, man. Yeah, 38 pretty much. Nicknamed World because of his superb catching ability, his accomplishments, and numerous records. Rice is widely regarded as the greatest wide receiver of all time and one of the greatest players in NFL history.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to put him up there as one of the best because in his career, he's leader in most statistical categories. That one's always a statistical categories for wide receivers, including receptions, receiving touchdowns, receiving yards, scrimmage yards, and total touchdowns, holding the postseason records for these statistics as well, and once held the single-season records for yards and touchdowns. He's also scored more points than any other non-kicker in NFL history with 1,256. He was selected to the Pro Bowl 13 times from 1986 through 1996, just every year, 98 and 2002.
Yeah, we're talking about a GOAT here.
Yeah, he is the GOAT in terms of wide receiver.
People just give a quick Google as far as like the receiving yards record that he's got and receptions and I think touchdowns as well. I know Kelsey just passed him for playoff receptions, but I know when it comes to like yards, he's got a long ways to go to beat Rice. And then as far as like total career yards, he's got like one of those like Emmitt Smith, like the rushing yards record,
like
and
Gretzky,
a few of those other ones.
Like, I don't know how anybody is ever going to catch
Nobody's
that.
ever going to get close to it. No, I mean, they're playing an extra game now. You got guys like
his career
Jefferson.
All-purpose yards, 23,546 yards.
Who's number 2?
I don't know who number 2 is.
Oh, I thought you had the list up there.
I didn't.
Oh,
That was
okay,
just
never
on
mind.
his, but I know he's the most. So
Yeah, it's nuts. He just blows everybody out of the water. He's a go. We got to see him a lot at the Super Bowl. He's very devoted to the team that he played for so long for. He's right there on the sidelines at the Super Bowl with his big chain.
oh yeah,
So,
and
he's
he really likes to show off all of his rings.
Oh,
He's like
Just
"I
does
got
this all
of
the time. But what's great, oh man, if you ever haven't seen it too, watch that Peyton's Places for Jerry Rice. That was a really kind of fascinating thing because not a lot of people know, but when Rice, and we got this draft coming up, it's similar where Rice was not like hyped up a lot about it. I mean, I think he maybe went in the second round or something. I'm sure we could kind of find it on there, but it was, he wasn't like something that was a super flashy guy. I think his 40 time is really what stood out as like not that great, and that's why they stayed away from him. But it was just about his work ethic. So Peyton Manning goes with him, and it's this hill that he would run near San Francisco,
Yeah.
and it's a tough ass hill, just nonstop running. And of course, Peyton makes it hilarious where he's like, dude, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it up this whole thing. But yeah, I mean, I think that's what he really wanted to bring to light, was like, that's what made Rice so great. Not so much like his talent, which was high, but it wasn't his like physical traits. It was more of just like his work ethic that like drove him to those records.
Yeah, I guess if it wasn't for Bill Walsh seeing something in him and realizing that the 49ers lacked a deep threat, he probably wouldn't have been drafted as high as he was, because they traded up. They traded a first, second, and third round picks for New England's Patriots' first and third round picks, which ended up giving them the number 16 selection that year in the 85 draft. So he ended up going number 16, but still 16 for what was the greatest wide receiver of all time. I mean, it's like Brady being drafted in the 6th round.
Exactly. Yeah, I think maybe that's what they mentioned in Peyton's Place, is that like a lot of teams maybe just weren't sure about him because of his 40 time. But it's pretty awesome. Hats off to Mr. Jerry Rice.
Yes, indeed.
Whose son is coming? Is his son coming out in the draft this year?
I think he did.
I'm pretty sure, but he's not like a really top
he's not
draft pick. Yeah,
I gotta double check though. But
I remember watching him on USC.
At one point in elementary school, I did a report on Jerry Rice. I read a book about
sweet.
him, and I there was actually one thing that I remember from that book is that his dad was a bricklayer. And he would always go work with his dad.
Oh, yeah,
and
you told me about this
He
shit.
would catch the bricks.
Yep.
And supposedly all that brick catching gave him soft hands.
There's muscles and those tendons in the hands. You got to make them
them
strong
phalanges,
like that. Yeah,
them little phalanges right here. Look at them.
got to be strong.
Phalanges.
That's a good way to get strong, with throwing bricks.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, just for everybody's information, number 2 and number 3 on the all-time scrimmage. All-purpose total yards. So Jerry Rice, 23,546. Brian Mitchell, running back, punt returner, and kick returner for the Redskins from 1990 through 99, and the Eagles from 2000 to 2002, and the Giants in 2003, 23,330 yards. So it's still, I mean, he's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
But the next person, Walter Payton, 21,803. Emmett Smith, 21,564.
It's got to be his receiving yards.
Frank Gore played for like most of our lives, I think.
Dude, I saw this hilarious meme the other day. Have you seen that?
In the Revolutionary War?
Yeah, it was him on George Washington's boat crossing like the river.
Like stiff arm.
There's Frank Gore right there. The jokes about him now are like they're turning into like a Chuck Norris type thing.
I mean, Darren Sproles is on this list, which makes sense because when you're a punt,
we got to look up the receiving yards list. I think that's the one where he's like 1,000 yards above everybody else.
I don't want to look now, but
we're gonna look that up in a minute when we get a break, and we'll come back to you guys.
But yes, in honor of Mr. Jerry Rice,
number 80, guys, 20 away. If you guys got any ideas for what we should do on our 100th, I'm not gonna eat that gummy bear. I think I've already decided.
Dude, you have to.
Nah.
You said you were, and then you're like, oh, we're gonna do it.
But I'm
and
not.
Then,
if I like get last in fantasy, then maybe.
No, dude, you just gotta do it.
I'll get through it.
Cheers to gummy bears and Jerry Rice.
Damn right. No, we'll do it. Oh, wow.
Only because I will shame you on this show for everyone to see.
Forever.
Okay, so I just got it pulled up. Jerry Rice, 22,895 receiving yards.
22,800.
So he's only 23,546. So he literally only had like 1,000 yards of not like receiving.
That's probably why he lasted so
Larry
long.
Fitz, 17,492.
4,000 above the next. Larry Fitz got the second in receiving yards.
Terrell Owens is third. Randy Moss fourth. Isaac Bruce fifth. Tony Gonzalez sixth.
Yeah,
which is crazy for a tight end.
It is really nuts. That's why Kelsey will never reach that yards record.
Travis Kelsey right now 38th. 11,328.
Yeah, he's good with the receptions. He's
catching a lot of the short balls.
Yep.
But
so that's 4,000 above second place.
Yeah,
that's one of those records, man.
If you want to go down a crazy rabbit hole, just Google Wayne Gretzky's records and then see who's in second, because it's like, is anybody else even playing the same sport as him?
It's not even. Of 11 times over 100 assists.
Yeah,
insane.
All right, so
well, Chris.
Yes,
that's a great little deep dive on Jerry Rice. I think
sometimes you just gotta deep dive a gentleman's life. You know,
I mean, we can keep going. I mean, the Raiders years. It's just nuts. Like that is a GOAT career.
Yeah,
for sure. But we got to move on. Tell me how your weekend was, sir.
My weekend was pretty good. Did a bunch of shit. Saturday, getting stuff ready for like springtime. Actually mowed the grass for the first time yesterday evening.
I did that 2 weeks ago.
Because it was getting like, I would have these patches of like 6-inch grass and then like 2-inch grass.
It's weird, huh?
And I was like, well, that's pretty cool.
Even it out.
Yeah, evened her on out. I took some pallets from work and I made a tool holder for
You took some pallets from work?
Yeah.
They better not have been quick read pallets. I'm telling, dude.
U.S. mixed. It's easier.
What'd you do? Did you put them in like the fold your van seat downs or something?
Oh, I can just slide them in the back of the van. They just fit right in there.
Damn.
But I took like 2 of the Synergy pallets because those are the nicer looking ones.
Oh, those are great.
And then I cut like the top off, like 3 slats, and then I stuck like all my tools in the shed in there. And then I found a little baby pallet, and I put all my little baby tools, like the pickaxe and shit in there, and they're all just like, you know.
It feels better when it's like that. It does
feel better.
Nice
but
work.
I still got a lot to do in that shed, so
good thing
not looking forward to that. Yeah, waterproofing. I'll be waterproofing soon. We watched the new Dune.
Did you?
Not both. Just the first one. So Dune.
In 2021?
The new Dune. Yeah.
So not you watched
not Dune 2. Dune.
That's okay. There's a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah, Dune 1.
Okay, cool.
It was way fucking better than the
1,000 times better.
Like at the end of the movie, I was like, okay, so like in the original movie, there was still 20 minutes left, and we just got to this point, and then it was like he like has like years of a relationship, and then like people are dying, and like you're just like, I don't know what's going on. He has a sister all of a sudden, and they're just 20 minutes, it wraps up the entire story, and you're just like, I don't even know what the fuck just happened. And then that's like I told Meryl, I was like, now we have like another 2.5 hours to finish this story rather than 20 minutes. Because it did seem like they got to that point in the movie and they're like, we've spent way too much money, we got to wrap this up. And then they're just like it's just like nobody knows what's happening anymore.
So what did you think of it, like as far as just like sci-fi movies?
Pretty good, but it's like you said, this is like the build up, so it was kind of, I wouldn't necessarily say slow as the first movie, like the original Dune, but it was definitely pretty damn good. Yeah, it was good.
It's definitely kind of like a Star Wars for grown-ups almost. Yeah. I mean, there's not really like a lot of kiddie stuff that happens like in Star Wars, which is cool. There's nothing, it's not docking that or anything. But Frank Herbert, I guess, like inspired a lot of like what George Lucas based his stuff. The voice, the Force.
Yeah, we were talking about that last night because what was it last night? Oh, we finished it yesterday because we started it Sunday night, and then we were like 40 minutes in. I was like, I feel like we've been watching this for like over an hour. Oh, wow. And I was falling asleep, so we had to cut.
The first one's definitely a little slower. You'll like this next one. I think it's available to rent right now, isn't it? But is it still only $20 to rent?
I don't know. We were gonna look into that. I didn't get that far.
It's probably gonna come out on Max because it's a Warner Brothers thing.
Yeah, it was our. Well, I mean, we watched the first one on Max, so
right.
But that was pretty good. I'm trying to think what else we did. We're like Oh, we started. I told you we started watching The Righteous Gemstones.
Oh yeah,
it's very funny.
Still
show.
watching that? Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep going on Dune, man. Like, I will have to tell you something off air that I heard on a podcast with Paul Stamets, the mushroom guy.
Man?
Yeah, and he, I guess, used to kind of be neighbors and friends with Frank Herbert, who wrote Dune. And after hearing this, like, Dune was already becoming like my new favorite sci-fi franchise, but after hearing this, I was like, yeah, I think it definitely is. So. Yeah, that's why whenever that new artwork that's downstairs in the kitchen, when she sent it to me, she was like, we got to get something. And then I saw that. I was like, that kind of reminds me of Dune. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Like, hell
I want to live in Dune. I want to get blue eyes and snort spice.
Drink the blue sand warm liquid. Oh, yeah.
But how was your weekend, sir?
Oh, that
Let's
was
get into it.
It was a good weekend. It was very eventful. Where our good friends Chelsea and Cole came and visited, and let's see, Friday night we went to State House, had a lot of good drinks and a good time. They got to see how like we've mentioned, the State House, they almost like they treat us pretty fucking good in there.
Is it almost getting to be like how it was for us at Pub on Penn back in the day?
Where they're like, our drinks are ready when we get there. They know the waitress had our drinks like memorized and that whole thing, so that was cool. But then Saturday we went to go see Civil War, actually.
Oh, how was it? Everybody's like, it's amazing.
Somebody said that? Damn, wow, we did not get that vibe. I was so disappointed.
I've heard so many people be like, it's like one of the best movies I've seen in forever. I was like, really?
I really wanted to feel that way. I'm not lying. I was so hyped about it. I'm a big Alex Garland fan who did Annihilation and Ex Machina, one of the best artificial intelligence movies ever. Holy shit, this movie was such a letdown, man.
Really?
All you can think of is like, okay, well, why do Texas and California join forces? Why did the nation split up? You don't really find out why.
The fact that California and Texas joined up doesn't even make sense.
It makes sense at all. What it is, I mean,
maybe
it's not
California
even much of
and like Austin, that would make sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even like they mentioned how Florida joined up with them too. I was like, well, that kind of makes sense.
That does.
Yeah.
Now, if you said Florida and Texas, I'm like, I'm all in.
That totally
and
makes
they're
sense.
crazy enough to do it.
You don't even really get into like the meat of the Civil War. It's just like a big love letter to basically war photographers, and that's great. They do amazing journalistic work.
Like warfare journalists.
Yeah, and some of like the mental stress that it puts on them and everything like that. Like, it's so much about that rather than the Civil War.
Yeah.
And that it's almost like a big misdirection. So
I also heard
kind of
that they stayed away from politics.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, how?
They do. And that's why it's a letdown.
Civil War. And you don't really say why.
Ron Swanson's the president.
I saw that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I was happy about that.
Cool.
But
Ronnie Swanson.
Yeah, I mean, but we still had a great time, and then we went to Chili's afterwards and started watching the Nuggets game. That was cool. Yeah. I had to pick a certain table so I could see the game. So my friends really cater to my Nuggets fandom, which has really gone to that level of like, you know, Chiefs are always going to be different because it's more historic to me. But I mean, like, my psychoness still, my psychotic like fandom still runs the same way. Where after we left Chili's, had to get those big ass mott sticks that are like the size of a block
still
of
want to
cheese.
try those,
dude. The garlic they put in there, that's what makes them so good. It's like a garlic butter in the breading. Oh, it's fantastic. You even got to do the trick is you got to get the fucking cheese stretch. Yeah, it's got to do. It's like those Stretch Armstrong.
I watched a video on how they do like those. I don't know if I've gone down some weird rabbit holes as we all do, and like reels and all that shit. But I've started watching for a little bit food photography and like how they do that, and like to make those crazy cheese pulls and pizza commercials.
Yeah,
all they do is take fucking string cheese and they pre-cut the pizza. Or they know where they're gonna cut it, and they lay the like string cheese where the cuts are gonna be.
Yeah,
and then when they cut it, you get that like extreme stretchy.
Oh my god, that
everything's fake.
Yeah, it's all fake.
Nothing's
real.
I
mean, it's so bogus. Like whenever you want to go get a new cheeseburger, that Wendy's or whatever might be.
Yeah, and it's like
the
this
pictures,
big, and then you get it, and it's like this.
It's
and like,
just
it looks like somebody
insult.
punched it right when they were done. Just like,
dude.
Fuck this guy.
So many times I wanted. There was like a Wendy's thing with like crispy onions.
I think we made it a full duration without cussing.
I forgot about that. Did we?
Yeah.
I
think that was the first curse word, and we were at 19 minutes.
Wow.
Look at us go, dude.
Wow, look at that. We're
growing.
evolving. Yeah, we are growing. We're becoming adults.
Well,
fuck this. We made it.
fuck you, shit, balls, piss. Anyway.
We are vulgar sailors. We always
do
will
try.
be.
You know, my dad was like, you guys cuss a lot. And I was like, I really don't think we do.
No. It could be a lot worse. Yeah. It doesn't even really, I don't even realize I do it sometimes. You know, but I can't lie. Like, when you're told as a kid not to, sometimes it's just that's what's gonna happen.
I mean, most of my best curse words I learned from my parents. You know,
Ooh,
so
yeah, and that makes sense.
That's how it goes.
My dad always used the word prick.
I love that.
He would call someone a prick. I'm like, damn, that is a mean word. I like it, so I still use it this day.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yep.
Needle dick.
Good soundbite.
All right, so
when did Juno sneak in here? She been here this whole time?
I think she's been in here this whole time.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up the weekend. We had a really great time. Sunday, we went to Mr. Egg.
Oh yeah,
Epic breakfast burrito.
Yeah,
I had to
good,
show Cole
good.
what that was all about. So
how did he feel about the green chili?
Oh, he liked it. He liked the spice of it. Chelsea tried it. She said it had it was a little spicy for her, but she had something. She had the eggs Benedict, but like I've now taken her grandma and Dennis there. I've taken my mom and dad there, and now them. Like, that's my breakfast spot. Like, to me, when it comes to smothered breakfast burritos, it could be Pete's, but Pete's is a whole journey to like get to from us, and just a lot. So that's a lot easier. But Mr. Egg's
There's a
the
place
shit.
not too far from here, which is one of like our family's go-to Mexican restaurants. I think it's on, is it 58th and like Quebec? It's Casa del Rey.
Oh yeah, you've talked about this before. Hell yeah. Nice.
Last night I did try something different with ribs. Made some spare ribs on the old. Well, I actually didn't even really use the Traeger that much. I did them mostly in the oven.
Yeah.
But I did like Asian style, like spare ribs.
You use the Asian Zing Buffalo Wild Wing sauce then?
No, Meryl can't eat that. It's way too hot. That one's surprising. You
Asian
don't think
Zing?
it's gonna be that hot, but when you eat a good amount of it, you're like, that's got some spice to it.
I've never thought about that with the Asian Zing.
Yeah,
maybe I need to try it again.
Like
it's been a while.
Like Meryl can't do
Just
the
a little
hot
bit,
stuff.
yeah.
It's
Same
just
with
like,
Anna.
Yeah, it's like no.
Yeah. So how'd it turn out then? Was it taste like a little with that?
It was pretty damn good. We did like the ribs with some rice and your standard like Asian style white rice with
that sounds fucking
soy
good.
sauce and some sriracha.
Yeah,
but those ribs were pretty damn good.
You say you didn't use the Traeger, or
I did at the end to finish it, but I did most of it in the oven.
Oh wow,
it was way less time.
Yeah, and it's really easy.
Because the thing that sucks about ribs on the Traeger, it's like 3 hours.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, but these were shorter and they were still really juicy, and that's always what you run into with the ribs.
You gotta have them
juice
juicy.
factor.
Gotta fall off the bone.
It's all about the juice factor.
Yeah.
Well, it's that time to get into headlines. This episode, we didn't have a guest this week, and in lieu of that, we are going to be doing our own little mock draft.
Yeah.
So that will be happening after the music break. So we're going to cruise through the headlines right now, and you're going to hear the headlines drop as I speak.
Headlines! Get your headlines here!
Yes, it is time for headlines, and we're at a weird spot where there isn't much headlines in the top 3 sports. Well, I mean,
in the NFL at least. There's a lot of
NFL
headlines.
until Thursday. There's not much in the NFL.
That's true. Yeah, definitely till Thursday.
We kind of collectively decided that we're not going to talk about the MLB in April, and that'll probably be something we continue with the show going forward, because it's really hard with the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, the NFL draft this week on Thursday nights.
There's always UFC events.
I don't know how we're going to do it, Chad. We've got the NFL draft happening at 6 p.m. here.
Oh, dude, I got it.
And then we've got the Nuggets playing.
Yeah, there's a lot we're covering, but I just came up with this great idea.
What?
We'll start our own network.
Oh, my God.
We'll hire our own hockey guys.
Okay.
We'll hire our own golf guys.
Okay.
And then we'll just fucking run the show. We'll just sit behind the production glass taking shots of whiskey, man.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
We'll just appear every once in a while.
We're building an empire,
cheers
sir.
to that. I like your new Nuggets glass.
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, the Maxi one?
I do like this, though. We're here to fuck shit up.
Yeah, definitely. Step Brothers, man. Yeah, the Maxi. I've really been digging the Maxi logo. Ooh! Let's go.
I wouldn't mind if they went back to that, but we'll talk about some uniform stuff coming up here.
Yep.
Probably.
You want us to let's
just
do it? Yeah, hit it
right now. It's time for the NFL.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
All right, we're going to give you the business of the NFL. In terms of like real news, we said we weren't really going to bring it up, but the Chiefs did extend Andy Reid, Brett Veach, and I forget what is Mitchell Donovan.
Mark Donovan.
Mark Donovan, damn it, Mitchell. Well,
yeah, team president.
So things are still going good over there in Big Red Land, as Big Red is now extended for through 2029, I believe.
Yeah, 6 years, I think is what it said.
He is the highest paid head coach in NFL history at this point, but I didn't see details yet as to what it is, and they usually don't.
Yeah, with that stuff, I don't feel like we ever
coach stuff.
I don't ever know how much coaches make, really.
Yeah, it's always up in the air. I know Sean Payton's making like
20 million, right?
18 to 20. I don't really know. Again, it's always just like conjecture when that stuff happens. But big news as we have some updates to some uniforms.
Well, hold on. Let me respond to the whole Andy Reid thing, man. That's my
by
team.
all means. Okay, yeah.
Let me just give you a little stat here. Right? All I got is
you
quick
didn't want to bring it up when I brought it up.
Well,
like,
dude, I know how you bring up all these daunting stats for the Chiefs, and you're like, oh, you got to bring that up. But I got to give my 2 cents.
Okay,
since
fair enough.
2017, and it has started as Brett Veach when he took over as John Dorsey, and Mark Donovan and Andy Reid all together, all three of those guys, 2017, they are 134 win-loss ratio.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's tough to you can't really.
That's insane.
I do love stats, and that's a good stat.
What a great move by hiring all three of those guys and keeping
them
all three together.
They can basically all go to Patrick Mahomes' house and thank him, because without him, who knows where they would all be right now.
Let's do that. Let's think of what if the Bears had taken Patrick instead of Mitchell Trubisky? You think he would be? You think he'd have?
Man, it's tough to say.
Matt Nagy was the coach.
I don't think he would have. I mean, I think to some degree he still would have been good, but I don't think he'd be what he is.
I think, and Mitchell did take him to the playoffs those first 2 years, I think it was. But I think they would have made the playoffs, but I don't think he'd be anywhere near the quarterback
I
he
don't
is now.
know. But maybe. I don't know.
Everything came together perfectly.
The idiosyncrasies of the world there.
134. Love it. All
Gotta
right.
love it.
New unis. Let's give you some good news. I know you're happy about the throwbacks at least.
Yeah. The more I look at them, so the Broncos redid their uniforms. They got rid of the fucking horn on the side, which nobody liked. But I don't know how I feel about the new unis.
It's got to be weird, man. I mean, you guys have had the same unis for
a
good while. I don't know how long.
97? I think was when the new uniforms
pretty much
happened.
Iterations of those, I'd say.
Yeah,
right?
It was when we got the tribal donkey at this point, the tribal donkey or a tribal horse, if you will. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, here's my thing. I don't mind the orange, and I don't mind the orange alternates with the white pants. I don't really like the navy blue. Is too weird. It's too blue.
I thought the blue got darker.
It does look darker.
Okay, see, I'm glad I'm not
well, they're always
saying
saying it's like dark navy, and I was like, I don't remember it. And maybe it's just because in the other uniforms they weren't.
I'm trying to think of like an example. Like, well, there's one of the jerseys right there that you're wearing.
Ones, so yeah, I don't know, man.
But the throwbacks are cool.
The classic '77 throwbacks are fucking rad. Like any jersey I buy will probably be that jersey, because I didn't really like the last redesign necessarily. It was cool in the beginning, but after like 4 years I was like, these are kind of dumb.
Well, I was just really surprised they went with the white helmet but didn't keep that D there, because everybody loved that last year.
Yeah, and I thought they would keep that for the alternates, but I guess that's not happening now. So because you were always allowed that one like different alternate helmet, but I guess now that's replaced with the old D on the old colored helmets. Which, dude, you just look at the classics are back. Like
that's what everybody's doing.
Did you see the so much better? But
Texans today.
I did see that the Texans dropped.
They're trying to look mean.
I do. I love the all red.
It's pretty sweet, man.
I love the blue.
Even the white looks cool.
Yeah. See, that's what kind of sucks. Like that's a cool uniform redesign. I really like that. Dan said it at work. The Broncos kind of look like a CFL team or something. I
see the Bears too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not stoked on it.
Yeah, I hear you.
But Detroit Lions, their new uniforms are rad. The all blacks, the whites with the Detroit across the chest, and then the blues are pretty rad.
It does remind me a lot of the Panthers when they do the blacks though, and the blue helmet.
Yeah,
that is. I mean, the only different thing about the only nuance is the lion emblem. So I mean, like that's just it. Is like as graphic design, little bit background that we have. It's like. You gotta alter the color, even in the little bit of shade, And
because
if not, it comes across as too similar.
I mean, you could do like what the Jets did, and nobody really knew what happened.
That was wild. Yeah,
the wait is over. Introducing our new uniforms, and it's like, didn't you guys wear those last year?
I was so shocked. I was like, wait. I was really wondering. I'm like, is this an old article?
Honestly, I thought that too when I first read it. I was like, is this from last year?
Am I dumb?
And the Browns are like, they got new helmets, which I do like.
The Browns?
Yeah.
I didn't see those. Are they keeping the white ones?
So these are the orange ones. And I don't know how it's different. Cleveland reintroduced its traditional uniforms in 2020, but the helmets from their 2015 redesign remained. Next season, they'll go back to their glossy finish orange helmets with white face masks, a subtle change from the matte orange helmets and brown face masks. To tell you the truth, dude, didn't even know their face masks were brown. I thought they were white this whole time.
Yeah, I guess I see that now. I'll be damned.
So, yeah.
It does look pretty cool.
I think that's probably going to be it. I did see the Jaguars release that they're probably going to do like a throwback logo and jersey set.
Yeah, they need something. Their uniforms suck.
They do suck.
Sorry, Jags fans, but that's just...
But right now, I mean, the more I keep looking at these Broncos ones, I feel like we're right there with them. So
it's just rough.
And that's 77 classics every day.
Where I feel so neutral on it is because like part of me really wants, like the Chiefs are sold. The Hunt family is just like they are with like the stadium almost, where I mean they're just stubborn, and I mean in all the different ways where it's just like he will not ever do a throwback one because it sucks too. The only way we could do a throwback one is if the shape of Texas is on our helmet.
Yeah, that's why you guys are going to fucking Dallas soon.
Who knows? Maybe after 2031. Yeah, we'll see. But then he's, we never have like any new color rush, really cool. It's the only way there is just red on red. That's it.
Yeah.
But part of me is kind of glad for that too because we see like what's going on with these tacky uniforms and stuff. So
I
it's
wish
like,
the Broncos never would have changed from the old D logo. We'd all be happy.
Yep. That's one thing that's good. Just stick. Yeah. That's what's good about the NFL is like don't try to change it up a bunch because I mean sometimes with these NBA uniforms like they've got 12, 14 different uniforms they use throughout the years.
At this point, I hardly know what the Nuggets' actual uniform is, like home or away. It's just like it's like they're wearing. Now they got in-season tournament,
city edition,
city editions.
Yeah,
so it's hard to keep up with. So I guess. It could be worse. It could be like the NBA where there's new jerseys every year.
Yeah,
which is just
and some like the Miami one that looked like what is it? A letter. What am I trying? You tape all the letters to fucking on like a sheet of paper. What the fuck am I? Ransom letter.
Oh yeah,
that's what they used on there.
Yeah,
I couldn't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's all a bunch of different fonts for each letter.
It looked ridiculous. They just look so silly. So I'm glad the Nuggets don't really get too wild with theirs.
No, and again, we all wish the Nuggets would just go back to the old rainbow original unis from like
on
the
your
80s.
hat.
Yeah,
yep.
Right here, this one.
STS9, one of my favorite stickers. They did that, but it says STS9.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Oh, the Rangers are
right now
on
the World Viewing Party right now. We got the Rangers 1-1. And Caps going on right now. It's tied up 1-1.
Yeah.
All right, let's. I think that's it for uniforms, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it for NFL.
That's what I thought.
We'll be back to the NFL talking about the mock draft that we're gonna do at the.
That was NFL Part 1.
NFL Part 1. Let's get into the NBA.
Take it roll! Outlet!
This was Jamal Murray.
Pretty much.
T, come out. I'm burning. My lungs are burning.
Well, as we roll into the NBA, there's really only one big news story that I saw that was worth informing you guys about, and that is the Brooklyn Nets officially hired Jordi Fernandez as their head coach.
I missed that.
He was hired Monday. They're looking to bounce back after missing the playoffs for the first time in 6 years. The Nets finished 32-50 and fired Jackie Vaughn at the All-Star break. Kevin Ollie finished out the season as the interim coach. Fernandez becomes the franchise's 24th coach. He spent the past 2 seasons as the associate head coach of the Kings, helping them reach the playoffs last year for the first time since 2006. He is a native of Spain. He also coached Canada's men's national team, and he led the country to a bronze medal last year in the Basketball World Cup. So the Nets are trying something a little bit different.
That's
They're going
kinda
outside of the normal, retread of NBA coaches who just keep getting hired over and over and over again. So let's see if the Nets can, turn it around, because after the debacle of the super team there, we have yet to see what they can do, as they've been in shambles trying to recover. So,
Right.
But we have been watching
The
some
NBA playoffs.
really fun NBA playoff games this season so far.
Game ones where there was kind of a lot of blowouts.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, you look in the Eastern Conference, the Celtics beat up on the Heat 114-94. The Heat lose Jimmy Butler in that game. And he may be done for... Or no, they lost him in the play-in. I'm sorry.
The play-in, yeah.
It was the last play-in game. And he's done for a little bit.
Jason Tatum got his first triple-double in that game one.
Yeah, he got his first triple-double. He also took one hell of a fall.
Oh, that was crazy.
Which people were thinking was like a hit thing. Like, they sent him over there to take him out.
Oh, Caleb Martin.
Yeah.
I rewatched it. I mean, I was watching that game live down in the basement, and I was like, holy shit, because, I mean, I felt kind of selfish. I had a parlay for Jason Tatum to get a certain amount of points, and when that happened, I was like, oh, fuck. But it worked out. He was okay. He bounced right back up, but then when they played the replay,
you see him
Caleb Martin doesn't even go for the ball.
Yeah,
he goes straight trying
under
to,
him.
Like, yeah, I was like, damn, that's dirty.
That was pretty dirty. The Celtics... whoa, where did I go here? I'm sorry. I got all out of whack here. But yeah, so they beat up on the Heat. I don't know what the Heat are going to do. I just saw that Jimmy Butler is scheduled to miss some weeks. So I don't know how they're going to survive
He's not
without
expected.
him.
Yeah, he's not expected to come back. He's got a sprained MCL. That takes at least like 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So he's out for the foreseeable.
So
the Heat, next season.
They really need to figure out their 3-point shooting, as that's going to be about the only way they're going to keep up with the Celtics, who are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. So we got Game 2 Wednesday at Boston, 7 p.m. That's going to be 5 p.m. our time if you're in the Mountain Standard time zone on TNT. So that one will be pretty entertaining, but I don't know if the Heat have a chance in this one.
No,
they're not going to pull it off.
No.
Getting the Celtics in the first round was definitely not what they were looking for. Do you want to take us to another game?
Yeah,
another
then let's go to
series?
the 2 seed of the East, the Knicks, in a controversial win last night, 104-101 against the Sixers, and everybody tuned in to the NBA world heard about this, because they probably heard the sobs of Embiid crying about the reffing afterwards. And to me, I just find it ironic. It definitely could have been called a foul on Maxey. They definitely should have called a timeout when they had the chance, but they said they did, but they didn't hear it. Okay. But the thing of it is, they gave up a 5-point lead in less than 20 seconds. That's, I think, trying to throw blame to the refs when they blew a lead. When DiVincenzo, so clutch. And the balls to throw up that shot, and just the, the cojones, I don't know, man. It's like, shit, you just missed this like clutch 3, and then they get the offensive rebound by Hardenstein, who just showed so much effort in those last 2 minutes, kicks it back out to DiVincenzo, Villanova kid, throws it up again, and then takes the lead.
Yeah, DiVincenzo's really found his home with the Knicks. He's really settled into just being this knockdown shooter from 3-point range. And yeah, the go-ahead 3-pointer with 13 seconds remaining after that desperate scramble was pretty much what put them away, especially after the debacle that was the no call on the struggle under the basket that ended up giving the Knicks the ball back again and effectively ending the Sixers' chances.
And the NBA did just announce this right before we started recording, actually, that after every game, all the calls are reviewed under like the NBA Rules Commission and stuff, and they did announce that was there could have been 2 fouls on Maxey, but weren't called. But that's why I find it ironic, because how many times does Embiid get to the line during the season? He shoots double the amount of free throws as everybody else and get so many calls. So, like Atlanta Morrison said, it's ironic.
Isn't it ironic?
That's what I'm saying.
So in that game, Brunson finished with 24 points despite going 8 for 29 from the field, and Hart had 21 points and 15 rebounds, and DiVincenzo scored another 19 points. Philly is in trouble, although Embiid says they're good. They're going to win this thing.
That's not the way it seemed in that press conference when he was interviewed in that locker room. Never even looked up. Sounded like a high schooler that just lost the state championship. Horrible leader. Horrible example. I mean, just for the fact that there's kids that look up to these guys that have their shoes and stuff like that. That's a joke. As far as sportsmanship goes and leadership, that's pathetic.
Yeah. So I don't think. I mean. Clearly, the Knicks are the number 2 seed, and you're looking at the 76ers, who are the 7 seed, and they would have been higher had Embiid not gotten hurt when he did. But the New York Knicks, I think, are about the only other team in the East that can challenge the Celtics. So I don't think the 76ers have a chance in this one. But we've got Game 3 Thursday at Philadelphia, 7:30, 5:30 our time. So let's move into the Milwaukee Bucks and the Indiana Pacers. So you got the 3 seed Bucks taking on the number 6 seed Pacers, who lead now. The Bucks lead 1-0 as they beat the Pacers 109-94, rolling on a Dame 35-point first half.
Yeah,
so
didn't score any points in the second half either.
You don't need to when you do most people's crazy averages in the first half.
Yep. Yeah, it was insane. Dame had a great quote afterwards in the post-game presser where he was – it was a pretty interesting quote where he said, last year or in the last 2 years, missing the playoffs sucked. He said last year he went to Coachella. He said he's tired of early vacations.
Yeah, it's no fun. Man.
And so he came out like we've seen him firsthand whenever we've faced him with the Nuggets. Like he does – hit a different gear in the playoffs, and this one kind of shocked me because I thought the Pacers could pull off the upset without you almost got me saying it. Giannis. Bastard. Giannis. It's Giannis. Yeah, he's expected to miss at least maybe the next 4 to 6 games, which could bleed over to the next series. So we'll see when we get Giannis back. But good on the Bucks for getting that first game out of the way, and I could definitely see if Dame continues this to carry them at least maybe, to a 2-0 lead, and we'll see what Pacers could do at home.
Yeah, and the surprising thing in this is the Bucks aren't really known for defense necessarily, and Pascal Siakam had 36 points and 13 rebounds for the Pacers, who hadn't scored fewer than 99 points all regular season, which is nuts. Mm-hmm. They were averaging a league-high 123.3 points per game, but the Pacers could not hit the broadside of a barn, shooting 8 of 39 from three-point range. So
that's what I like about the playoffs is you see a lot lower scoring.
Well, because it's always more of a chess match in the playoffs because you're like, I mean, the regular season's a regular season. Obviously, you're trying to win these games, but when you get into the playoffs and it's like a 7-game series, it's like, how can we effectively take somebody away from you?
You're able
make
to,
you like,
the amount of research that goes into defensive scouting and like how you're going to game plan for certain players, it skyrockets, and so like you see the scoring go way down, just like what we see. We'll get into the first. We'll go right into it. We'll bounce around to the West game. It was a super low scoring game, one of the lowest for both these teams throughout the whole year. 94-92 as the Thunder barely outlast the Pelicans on Sunday night. Sunday night. And this one kind of shocked me. It was like they had a chance to. I think it was Shea had like an okay game. Like there's times where like the Pelicans were really giving him a lot of problems and he was throwing up some air balls, and they barely outlasted this one.
Yeah, and with Zion being gone for the foreseeable future, I mean, he is supposed to return. I think it was a hamstring, wasn't it?
They said that there's a chance that he could return in the playoffs. It doesn't sound like it could possibly come back this series, but maybe soon.
Yeah. And CJ McCollum at the end of the game did have a chance to win it, and it just rattled out on him. So I was surprised that they were able to hold Oklahoma City to
Gino's dinner time.
Oh, no.
All right, Gino.
But, yeah, I was surprised that the Pelicans were able to hold the Thunder the way they were, especially with, Shai being the player that he is, because
this one shocked me.
As we all know, he's probably going to be number 2 in the MVP voting. So it's safe to say they found something, but it's just a matter of if they can continue that into the second game.
And this is what everybody's interested in. This is the number 1 seed. This is the 1 seed, the Thunder, and last year they were the 10 seed and didn't make it out of the play-in tournament. And so, this is the youngest team in the NBA. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
And we talked about it. I think North Carolina's whole starting 5 was the same age.
Crazy. And so that's what everybody was wondering about is the experience. They don't have the playoff experience like a lot of these other teams. So even though they were the 1 seed, how far can they take that? And this kind of said a lot in that first game, so I'm kind of interested to see how game 2 is going to go.
It is funny, though, we are talking about how they might have figured something out, and Alexander still had 28 points, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, you almost expect, in games like this in the playoffs, these superstars, second MVP, you got to get over 30, or at least get a few more, rebounds or assists. It's kind of a low stat line.
Yeah. It's not the best.
Decent, but it's still decent.
Decent.
All right. The last East game. Did we cover we didn't cover the Magic,
no,
did we?
We need the Magic and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are leading 2-0 over the Orlando Magic. This is the battle of the 4 and 5 seeds. So the game 2 happened. I believe it was last night.
Yep.
The Cavaliers beat the Magic 96-86, and Jalen Suggs returned to this game after injuring his knee, but Mitchell set the tone with a 30-point game. Oh, that's game 1.
He had 23 points because I had a parlay for him to hit 25, and he messed that up purely because he had such a great first half. I mean, I think he got 18 points or something real quick. They jumped out to an early lead, 30-18 in the first quarter, and Donovan Mitchell just kind of took over.
Yeah, and Jarrett Allen had 20 rebounds for Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's like a Jokic stat there.
But when I was watching a lot of this game last night, and as soon as Suggs went out, that really changed the tempo for the Magic. And I mean, the Cavs were already kind of a little bit ahead, but after that, the Magic just didn't really seem to have it.
Yeah, and I don't think they will be able to pull this one out, especially now being down 2-0. Cleveland's playing pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about they did fall off there at the end of the year, but maybe they were trying to play a little bit of seeding to get into the middle spots and not have to face
somebody real tough. It's crazy.
Who knows? But that series continues. When is it? Thursday?
Night, right? Or Thursday?
That would be Thursday at Orlando, 7 p.m., so 5 p.m. our time.
And that'll be one that's not on any TNT or anything like that.
Do you want to finish on the Nuggets?
Yeah, I'm down.
Well, let's get into the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's 3 seed versus the Phoenix Suns, the 6 seed. The Timberwolves thrashed them.
Yeah.
They blotted out the Sun, if you will, 120-95 on Sunday. And, the
guy that I'm worried about the most, Ant.
He was shit-talking.
Yep, he was shit-talking KD.
Calling him an old-ass word I can't say.
And just right on cue, right now the game's already tipped off. It's Suns versus Timberwolves, and the T-Wolves are up 8-0 with Ant already hitting a three-pointer. Dude, this guy, I don't say this lightly, and I know I'm not the only one to say this. His game is the closest that reminds me of Michael Jordan that there is right now. Not because of the accomplishments. We're not going to get into that whole talk. We're
just
talking
the way
about
he
actual
plays,
on-court play because of his leadership and his confidence and his killer instinct. That's the team that worries me the most in the West.
Well, and they've got the defensive, prowess to shut you down as well. Like you were saying, Anthony Edwards, 18 of his 33 points were scored in the third quarter, and he had 9 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns added another 19 points. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 18 points on 7 for 12. Rudy Gobert locking down the lane with 14 points, 16 rebounds.
Yeah.
Got
voted most.
Yep.
Rudy got voted. The NBA Players poll just came out recently by, I think, The Athletic, where they have these players do an anonymous poll, vote on all these different awards. Rudy Gobert got voted most overrated player.
That's funny.
Yep, I agree.
But nobody really likes him. But flip it over to the other side. Kevin Durant, I mean, he still scored 31 points on 11 for 17 shooting. Booker didn't have a huge game, but 18 points on 5 for 16 shooting. Bradley Beal, 15 points. But they got murdered on the boards. Out-rebounded 52-28.
Wow.
And outscored 52-34 in the paint. So the Wolves are just playing bully ball with them.
They're so big, man, with those twin towers.
Man. Come on down to the paint.
You got Nas Reed. You got Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, the size for the T-Wolves. And then you got a guy like, then Mike Conley and Edwards. I mean, that is a good squad they have there.
And then Grayson Allen, who we spoke about last week, getting paid, and also the league's leading three-point shooter, missed all 3 of his shots and had just 4 points before leaving with a sprained ankle.
Oh, whoa.
And he is questionable for game 2.
He's playing.
Which you just said he's playing? Okay,
yeah, he's got
so
1 rebound so far.
All right, so he's in.
He's good. Well, that's it for the West. Other than then we didn't really talk about the Mavs and Clippers. Man, that's an easy one. The Clippers, we saw a little bit of the beard. Fortunately,
the beard's
came back. Yep.
The beard is back.
I cannot believe this. I had the Mavs picked in a parlay. That also ruined it. Man, the Mavs got their ass whipped.
Yeah, and one of I think the surprising things is Ivica Zubac.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where
dominated.
Yeah, and him and James Harden on the pick and roll, it almost reminded me of Murray and Jokic. Like I wouldn't put it up there in terms of prolificness. But,
the aggressiveness of Zubac, I was watching a lot of that game. Man, he was yanking those rebounds down, not letting anybody grab them, and that's been the big criticism of the Mavericks. They don't really have much size. They got the small guards.
Yeah,
Luka's kind of like average size, but Kyrie's really small. So.
Yeah, and Harden, 28 points in his playoff debut for the Clippers. Zubac also playoff career high, 20 points to go with 15 rebounds. Basically, Harden even came out and said it was basically just a perfect game for a big. He came in there and did what he did what he could with what was given to him, which is what mostly happens with bigs, is they're always down there in the paint taking what they can get. So, but definitely. I thought this game was going to go different. I'm not going to lie. I kind of thought Dallas would come out and just dominate, and this one might be one of the better, series in terms of the first round.
I think so too, because I'm really interested to see how Dallas responds in game 2, but especially back in Dallas where they really have a home advantage. They have a big fan base there.
Yeah.
But I don't expect
Mark Cuban.
Yep. Luka to be playing like that in most, like the rest of the series. I kind of expect a big bounce back. I mean, this is the last time that LA is going to be playing at the Crypto Arena, so I'm sure they're excited to get their new arena. And I don't know. I really thought that would be kind of a better first game, but I hope it turns out to be a better series.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It is in the first right now. There's 8:23 left in the first, and Minnesota is still somehow up. 8-3. So someone just hit a 3-pointer for Phoenix. So I was like, honestly, I think maybe my computer froze because it's still 8-0.
Oh, sweet! It's intermission. I'll switch over to that.
All right, intermission. So
let's get into what we love.
The Nuggets.
The Nuggets are up 2-0.
Nuggets are up 2-0 over the Lakers, and they just took what I think is the Lakers' best punch. You cannot ask for a better game from D'Angelo.
7 threes.
Anthony Davis could not miss. I think
that first half was nasty. That reminded me of like Kobe-esque type. Can't miss.
No, he was hitting everything. LeBron James doing his normal LeBron James things, but they cannot pull it out as Murray with the blue arrow and a dagger.
Unbelievable, man.
I think just killed the Lakers. And I mean this in the grand scheme of things, because if the Lakers lose this, I don't know what they can do to get back to this point. You're basically going to have to blow that team up, and nobody knows what LeBron's going to do.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be a whole different Lakers team next year.
Yeah, I think next year, if the Lakers can't entice LeBron to stay, I think it might just be AD and some other guys. I don't know.
It could be. Yeah, it's tough to tell, but man, we could do a whole episode on this game. Last night, which put the Nuggets up 2-0. They were down by 20, like you said, and they just kept chipping away. I mean, dude, it was late. I think it was like 10 o'clock, and I was laying in bed. I had the game, watching it on my phone, had an AirPod in, and she's trying to sleep, and they start chipping away. And I was like, yes! She's like, come on, I'm trying to sleep. And I'm like, all right, sorry. I'll try to be a little quiet.
Okay, I'm going to have to leave.
Then the game winner happened, and I couldn't help it. I was like, oh, my God! And she's like, babe, what the hell? I was like, he just hit. I just had to explain it. I said, Murray just hit a game winner. And then I left the room, went downstairs, watched the press conference. This is... Dude, I didn't realize this. They mentioned this on the Locked On podcast, on the Nuggets podcast. Swipa, Adam Maris. That was the first buzzer beater Nuggets, the buzzer beater in a Nuggets playoff game in Nuggets history. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I thought, like, what the story?
You would
franchise?
think they're like with the shot like Jokic had over AD and stuff. You think those are like game winners, but they really weren't.
Yeah,
they
you know,
just
the
like what kind
game
of sealed the
sealing
deal.
kind of,
yeah. So
it was an epic moment in Nuggets history. Just the fact that it went in. The fact that Murray had such a rough game leading up to that.
I mean, Murray's not playing well at all.
Yeah.
He cannot shoot right now. I don't know what the deal is, but he is struggling.
Yeah, he's struggling. To me, it's not.
I think he has 18 shots over the last 2 games. He somehow tied his shots for last game. Even though he was like 3 for 16 going into the third,
in the fourth quarter, he had a great. It was like 4 for 6 or something. I think it was.
I think it was more than that. I can't remember. It was like 8 for 12 or something like that.
It probably was. But he started with that mid range, and that's what got him kind of back into it. Like, if you're not shooting the ball well, don't keep. MPJ's like the only one that can do this. Like, all right, when he's cold, he'll just keep throwing up the threes, and eventually one of them's gonna fall. But Murray, guys like that, you got to start with the mid range, and those started to fall in the fourth quarter, and I think that's what led to some of his confidence. But the fact that like all the teammates were just like, dude, keep shooting it.
And that's what happened. They just kept telling him, just keep fucking shooting it, man. Don't stop till you get enough. So and he didn't. And I mean, I guess he texted Peyton Manning, or Peyton Manning texted him because he was at the game.
Yeah, I saw that last night.
Game, and he was like, I just kept going. He's like, I didn't stop.
It was awesome. Who was sitting next to Peyton Manning? I couldn't recognize those guys.
Brandon
Stokely, but who was the guy on the right?
Dreesen.
Who's that guy?
He's a former tight end for the Broncos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
yeah, I mean, dude, I think the one thing that's got to be mentioned, well, for one, we'll get to LeBron crying and making an ass out of himself with the mic after the game. But that was all set up. I mean, Murray's the hero, but if it wasn't MPJ hitting that game-tying 3, that would not have even been possible.
Which was off of Jokic trying to draw a foul on a 3-point shot that just airballed to Gordon, who caught it about to fall out of bounds and launched it back to MPJ, who hit the falling off kilter 3-point to tie it at 95.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much where I was like, I think they're going to do it.
I think we got a chance. I mean,
I text you guys a couple of times. It's like they just got to keep it within 10.
Yep.
Just keep it
within 10. Well, that's what
10.
I said, the other night, Saturday night as well. I always feel like, I mean, we've seen this whole season. You and I feel like I probably watched like 60 or if not 65 of all 72 of the games and stuff. Like, we watch a lot of Nuggets basketball, and this is a team that they've been down 14, 16, 18 sometimes. They come back and win. But when they got down 20, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be tough. How? And that's all it took. When they kept getting those stops, and the Lakers missed like
10 in a row at one point. I think it went 10-2. There was a stretch in the third quarter to get it close again.
But they like went
9.
0 for like 0 for 8 field goals to start the third quarter, like right in around the third quarter, and I was like, wow, we really might have a shot. But yeah, and Aaron Gordon, the unsung hero, like you said, the one that kicked that back out to MPJ. I just think it's just insane how, dude, he carries so much momentum for this team with those thunderous dunks.
Yeah.
We came out flat again. We weren't scoring much. And then they got that of course, Jokic find to Gordon with an alley-oop, and he does a backwards dunk.
Yeah.
Dude, it's amazing.
And then also there was that KCP tomahawk dunk in the third.
Was badass.
That was like, okay, that's
right over LeBron,
wake everybody up. So
yep.
It was good to see, but then, unfortunately, LeBron and AD had to ruin everything. LeBron cries about a call that happened in the third quarter on D'Angelo Russell that they were up by 10 at the point. So I don't really know why that matters.
This has got to be one of the most embarrassing moments for either of those guys' careers, I'd say.
I mean, at least Anthony Davis didn't go on a rant about, the replay. Like, why do we even have a replay official and all this stuff? Like, he was just pissed that the guy asked him that question, and he answered one sentence, and then mic dropped and walked off.
Just walked off.
Murray hit a shot. Dunk.
Super professional. But we also got to mention what Anthony Davis had said. I don't think it was in the presser, but later maybe in the locker room in an interview or something like that. He was quoted saying, there's times on both ends of the court we don't know what we're doing.
Which is insane.
Which is just that is a direct shot at Darvin Ham, saying like he's not directing us what's going on. You know? But yeah, it's insane. And then like you said, LeBron was just completely whining about the calls, but I just can't believe that is. And if anybody isn't aware, Zach Bai brought this up on his podcast that like that call where somebody I think it was at the lockdown notice, but it was the fact that like when D'Angelo Russell got hit in the face, he got hit in the face. The ball had left his hand.
Yeah, he was already shot. So
2 seconds after that, Dylan Brooks made a habit because he loves being that pest, where it's almost like a loophole or it's just part of the rules. If you hit someone's part of their body after the ball's left their body, it's not a foul.
Yeah.
They have to have the ball somewhat.
You have to affect the actual shot, not afterwards.
That ball was almost towards the backboard when D'Angelo Russell got hit. But like we said earlier, Shannon Sharp destroyed the Lakers and AD and LeBron for blaming the refs after blowing a 20-point lead. That is the most unprofessional, pathetic, cuck-ass shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, then Charles Barkley came out before on the pregame show and said if the Lakers lose this game, they will blame somebody. They will find somebody to blame. Yeah. Game 1, it was D'Angelo Russell. He can't make shots. Game 2, it's the refs. They just don't want to admit they have no shot.
They just don't admit it.
Their only chance is to hope that they can bitch enough that they get Game 3 because it's just so haphazardly called.
And that's the insane part about it. The fact that they're going to blame the refs, and all throughout the calls or out throughout the game, they're getting these bullshit calls, getting
LeBron's
fouls,
traveling,
literally falling on the ground, picking it back up like he didn't travel. And it's unreal the calls he gets, and then after the game they're going to whine about it.
And then to have the nerve to whine about officials when the free throw disparity is so great between them and second and with the Knicks. So it's so asinine to sit here, and it just tarnishes your legacy. You're trying to be compared to Jordan. Jordan never would have done that. I mean, he might have bitched about refs. I don't know. But I don't think it would have been as crybaby as that was.
Well, here's one fact for you. That I found this out on Twitter right afterwards because everybody was blowing LeBron up about it. Michael Jordan never had to come back from 20 down in the playoffs. Yeah. He never even fell down 20.
No.
So you can't even say it. And on top of Jordan actually being the real GOAT, he just won a NASCAR race. So he can win in everything.
I forgot he owns a NASCAR team now.
Reddick just won at Talladega with the Jordan symbol on the car, man.
That's cool.
And he carried the driver's son to him after he had won. Amazing moment.
That is pretty cool. I didn't even
GOAT.
know that. I don't pay attention to NASCAR that much.
No, neither do I. It's just sports.
Yeah, it's just sports.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are just eating up time here tonight.
That's right.
So I'm going to say we skip PGA. Let's hit on F1. Down. And then we'll quick fly through NHL. So, real quick here. Well, the Lenovo Chinese Grand Prix happened this Sunday morning at 1 a.m. our time. If you were able to stay awake you would have seen Max Verstappen cruise to his first Chinese Grand Prix victory with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, 52 seconds, and 554 hundredths.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. Makes me sound stupid.
Yeah.
In second place, you had Lando Norris, who finished 13 seconds behind him. In third place, Sergio Perez, his teammate, at plus 19 seconds. And then the Ferraris will close out the top five with Charles Leclerc in fourth at plus 23 seconds and Carlos Sainz in fifth at plus 33 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a news story that came out. I'm not going to get into it, but I will tease it for next week. The F1 is discussing a revised point structure to shake up the championship, which basically would give more points after finishing, like the 10th position, I think, is the cutoff for points.
Yeah.
So they're going to add a couple more points to the guys after that, so people can try and catch up to Max Verstappen.
Exactly.
So at this point, they're like,
we feel sorry for you.
we gotta change the game at this point. He's too good. So the next Grand Prix is the first U.S. Grand Prix, the Miami Grand Prix at the Miami International Autodrome, May 3rd through the 5th. That is next weekend, and the race is at a normal time, Sunday at 2 p.m. So we don't have to set a timer to wake up for that. So
Yep.
that's exciting.
Just a little quote here. This is how easy it is for Max right now. It's just like he's racing with kids. He says afterwards on trying to drift on the last corner in China because he was asked about it. Yes, I told GP to look on the onboard, but F1 cars aren't made for drifting. If it was a rally car, I could have really drifted it, but we were far ahead, so having a bit of fun is okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
When you can just take your multi-million-dollar racing vehicle and dick around, it must be pretty nice.
While you're 12 seconds ahead by second place.
Especially when you're just dominating.
That's
so,
how good you are.
It must be nice to be that good. Yeah. So let us move into the NHL. And we're going to fly through this one because we are behind the time, as they say. Real quick, one news story. The Buffalo Sabres have rehired Lindy Ruff, the last head coach, to lead the franchise to the NHL playoffs back in 2011. Ruff was fired by the New Jersey Devils after 61 games this season. He replaces Don Granato, whom the Sabres fired after 3 seasons. Ruff coached the Sabres for 15 seasons from 1997 to 2013. He ranks 5th all-time and 2nd among active coaches with 864 career regular season wins for the Sabres, the Dallas Stars, and the Devils. So they are going back to the old retread pool and trying to find that spark that left them all those years ago in 2011. So good for the Sabres. Let's see if they can turn things around next season. But let's get into the playoffs. Well, where do you want to take us first? You want to go east or west?
We'll start off on the east, the game that's happening right now. A little update on it. It is the end of the first period. The Rangers are playing the Capitals, and they are up 2-1 in this game, and they are up 1-0 in the series.
Yeah, and they kind of rolled in the first game 4-1 over the Capitals. You're talking about the best team in the NHL right now. Again, they do have the President's Cup trophy lingering over their head. Is it a curse or isn't? But Matt Rimpey and Artemi Panarin score 33 seconds apart in the second period, and the President's Trophy winning Rangers beat the Capitals 4-1. Jimmy Vesey had a goal and assist. Chris Kreider also scored. Barclay Goodrow had 2 assists for the Rangers, and Igor Shesterkin, which is one of my favorite names to say, Igor Shesterkin, finishes with 20 saves, and they are taking on the Capitals right now as we speak. They are winning 2-1 at the moment. Let's get into... let's go the Panthers versus the Tampa Bay Lightning.
5 minutes left in the first period.
Yes. And I believe that is game 1, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no,
No,
I'm
the
lying
Panthers
to you.
are up 1-0.
Yeah, and they won 3-2 in the first game. So apparently I know what's happening in the world.
All right.
Panthers scored twice in the third period and beat the Lightning 3-2 in game 1. Game 2 is happening right now, as we said. What'd you say the score was? It's nothing?
1-0.
1-0. All right. Moving into the Boston Bruins versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. Boston wins game 1 5-1. Game 2, Toronto takes it 3-2 as they are now split. We'll see if Boston can I guess make up for what happened last year after they won the President's Cup trophy and got bounced. So moving into the Carolina Hurricanes versus the New York Islanders. Carolina is up 2-0 over the Islanders. They won game 1 3-1, game 2 5-3, and game 3 is April 25th. So that would be, what is today? The 3rd. So that would be Friday. That is game 3, and that one is in New York. So let's see if New York can get back into this one. Otherwise, that one might be ending early. Moving into the Central Division. Do you want to take one of these, or do you want me to keep cruising?
I'll do the Stars and Golden Knights.
Take it.
Yep. The Golden Knights are up 1-0 in the series, and last night they won 4-3 over the Dallas Stars. So that's kind of surprising. Good upset there. They play, I would imagine it is Wednesday night. Let's see.
Yeah, we don't know the date, so whenever they throw the actual date instead of the day, it always pisses me off. It's tomorrow night, so Wednesday at 7:30 or 9:30. Yeah, it's got to be 7:30.
Yeah, 7:30 on
puck
ESPN.
drop at 9:30. Let's move in. Oh, no,
Then the last one's the Oilers.
The Oilers. Where are they at? Edmonton Oilers versus the Los Angeles Kings. Edmonton is leading this one. They won game 1 7-4 over LA. They are taking on. They'll be going to Edmonton, and that one is tomorrow, and that one is also at 8. And then we've got the Avs, who are struggling.
Yeah, they didn't do so high. This was a high-scoring first game.
Yeah, which is very surprising considering Hellebuck is one of the best goalies in the league. The Avs get 6 goals on him, but unfortunately they allow 7. So it's that old quintessential.
Georgiev gives up way too many goals.
You got to score more points than you allow. And unfortunately, Georgiev, I believe in his last 9 games, 7 of them have been over 4 goals.
That's his number.
So they may be coming back. They drop the puck tonight at 7:30. They may be coming back to Colorado down 0-2 if they're not careful.
Well, and going to the playoffs, the Jets were actually the hottest team going in on an 8-game winning streak.
And then they fell off there at the end. But well, I mean, before that. I'm sorry. They were in the lead for a while, and then they fell off, and then they came back on.
Yeah.
So
their last 8 games.
Last 8 games they were doing good. But it's that time now. I'm all done with the hockey. Are you?
Yep.
Well,
let's get into it. We'll give you a little update later on that Rangers game. Right now, we switch it to the Minnesota and Phoenix game that's happening, and Minnesota's up just 3 points. With 2 minutes left to go in the first.
We'll see if they can keep that up.
I think it's time for some Boot Gun, right?
Let's do it. It is time for Boot Gun. They are an awesome band from Denver, Colorado. If you haven't
really enjoy this band.
Yeah, it's really good southern good time having rock and roll, if you will. They are a bunch of rad dudes. We haven't had a chance to play a show with them yet, but I'm sure we will sooner than later. But right now, this is off of their new album, One for the Willing. This song is called Bobbin and Weavin', and it's coming to you hot and heavy right now. We'll be right back.
Head hit the paper out in North Carolina. Words to myself, everything will be fine. Running through the leaves and the trees in my mind. Thoughts to myself, there's something ain't right now, Bobby. And weaving and losing control. Blur, this got me thinking, well, I'll never get out of this hole. Come on, boy.
And we are back. You just heard Bobbin and Weavin by Boot Gun. And if you haven't yet, please go like and follow them on all things social media, and make sure to go give them a like and follow on Spotify or wherever you stream your music from. Please do that because it helps them a lot. They also have a website, bootgun.bandcamp.com, where you can go and purchase music and merch directly through them. Cut out the middlemen. So anyways, thank you guys, Bootgun. This is probably their last week, I believe, because it is May next week as I check my non-existent
Next Tuesday
watch.
is April 30th.
So that's right.
Yep.
I have to take note of that.
So they'll have one more week.
Oh, yeah.
Next Tuesday, April 30th.
Shit. Oh, yeah. Chad's right. So I guess one more week. I lied. So Bootgun, one more song from their new album, One for the Willing, will be played next week. So we are at a point of the show where we are going to attempt our own mock draft.
Yeah.
We're going to see how it goes.
Yep.
So what we're going to do is we'll start the draft with the quintessential draft music, and we're not going to play it every single time because we're going to try and fly through this as well. We're not going to spend...
We're going to do the first round, 32
12 minutes on each pick. I thought we were going to do a minute, and Chad's like, no, we're not going to do that.
We don't need to do all that.
We're going to do like 15 seconds.
The NFL should even go faster.
Yeah, we don't
boom,
need...
Boom,
we don't
figure
need
it
all
out.
that time. So with that... we would like to welcome you guys to the 2024 Fringe Fanatics
Inaugural
NFL mock draft. And with that, the Chicago Bears, are on the clock.
Oh, and why are you going first?
Oh, because I'm the oldest, I guess.
That just makes sense, man.
Chad wanted to make that apparently known to everybody. That
no, I just feel like that's the way to do it. Youngest, I don't want to do that.
Age before beauty, right?
Yeah, see?
Damn it.
I'm being nice.
All right. Well, and with the first pick, the Bears, they got this pick from the Carolina Panthers as they have ruined their team. And now, as the Bears have traded away Justin Fields, they need a new quarterback. And I'm going to do the most logical thing. Oh, cheers.
Dude, as the Bears are going to select, I imagine, Caleb Williams.
Yes, Caleb Williams. So here's
we will cheers to the Bears getting a franchise quarterback for the first time since Jim McMahon.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even call Jim McMahon a franchise quarterback.
No, that's true. That's the last time they've had a decent one, but he was far from it. It was that defense.
So cheers to the Bears. Here's to you guys. Hopefully
cheers to the
doing
draft.
something.
I'm pumped for the draft. It sucks the draft happening on game 3.
Oh, I coughed that up into my sinuses.
Oh, my God,
It's
man.
so
You're
terrible.
supposed to swallow it. That's
It's so
what she
terrible.
said.
Yeah, she
Nasty.
Oh, okay. I'm back. All right, so we've got Caleb Williams off the board.
All right. Well, at number 2, as the Commanders, I will select. No, you ain't got to do that. I just want to joke around. It just feels right.
That way we each get one. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. Okay.
Yep. Josh Harris and Magic Johnson, they select their franchise quarterback.
All right. So, number 3, we've got the New England Patriots. What are they going to do? Are they going to trade? Are they going to pick a quarterback?
What are you going to do?
Let me see here real quick.
Let me consult my coach and see what he wants to do for the next one.
Let me call Bill Belichick real quick. I know he's not. I know he's not in the team anymore. But he's still,
we had a good game the other night. We're on to Cincinnati.
Nice. So I'm going to say with a new regime comes the need for a new person to lead it. I am going to say we have another quarterback go off the board, and Drake May is drafted by the Patriots.
It seems like he'll fit that Patriot way a lot.
Yeah. So now it's your turn, Chad.
All right.
Do I need to make the sound here?
No, I think we're good. We'll start rolling through it.
Oh, you're not going to do a draft? I mean, a trade?
No. I think the Cardinals should stay here.
Okay. All right.
They just lost Hollywood Brown. They don't. Their top receiver. They lost Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
I can't remember who their top receiver is, to be honest, at the top of my head. But that's just it. It's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. They're going to select their guy, a wide receiver, for Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray, they've decided Kyler's going to be their quarterback for the foreseeable future. They go get a number 1.
Let's just hope he doesn't like gang violence as much as his father.
Yeah, I hope not. That was bad.
That was bad. Sorry, I wanted to look into this real quick. Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch.
That's right.
And Chris Moore.
I mean, what better reason to stay at number 4 and take a wide receiver? I mean, you got those like clear guys that are going to be week 1 starters right off the bat. Week wide receiver ones too.
Okay. I also think we're on to the Chargers, number 5. I think the Chargers are going to go for a weapon. They need some because Keenan Allen and Mike Williams gone, cap casualties. Quentin Johnston, nobody knows what he's going to do. I think round 1 they are going to go with Malik Neighbors.
Oh, damn you, Scoop Steve.
Damn you, Scuba Steve.
All right, well that's who I had the Giants taking, but I think we're going to get a little shakeup. That's crazy because my hunch is I think they should go Joe Alt. I think they really need to get some protection for him.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. It's tough to tell. I hope they go offensive line because I'm scared of them getting one of those badass wide receivers.
Here's the thing, though. Here's why I would say that is because of how this draft is shaking out. You're gonna have the best defensive player, the best offensive player, right around 9 or 10.
It's nuts.
And you're gonna have all those guys just start falling off the board. So these people, I mean, you could trade back.
There's a lot of great talent out there, but I mean, it makes sense with Malik Neighbors. They just sent away Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. So
yeah, both of which were, I mean, in terms of the Chargers, pretty prolific receivers for the few years they were there. So
that's true.
All right, Giants are on the board.
Well, Chris, hit the music.
Oh my God, we have a trade, people.
We have a trade. Roger Goodell comes out. The Vikings are trading, or the Giants are trading the number 6 pick to the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings will be selecting J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy.
That's right. They get their quarterback.
Who, according to Jim Harbaugh, best quarterback in the draft. So.
Damn. He seems a little biased there, but I get it.
All right. So you're saying Giants to 11. All right. Because we're not going to go into, stipulations of the draft.
Oh, no. That'd be way too much. I'm not going to be like, I need a 3rd round pick and all that shit.
All right. So now we are at number 7.
Who are you going to take?
I think this is where you are going to see your first offensive tackle come off the board.
Joe Alt's
going to
going to Nashville. That ain't far away from Notre Dame. Joe Alt, that dude, that's a clear week 1 starter.
I mean, that guy should be the bookend for your offensive line for, you'd hope, 10 years.
Yeah, that guy was number 1 on pass blocking rating. An amazing offensive lineman. Yep.
All right. Atlanta Falcons.
They need some help on the D.
They need help. They've got Kirko Bangs, a.k.a. Kirk Cousins.
And they do have Kirko Chains there.
Yeah,
they
Kirko
don't have
Chains.
Much going on as far as pass rush, though, so they're going to take Jared Verse from Florida State.
Jared Verse. Okay, so we've got Jared Verse is the...
I think that's the first defensive guy taken.
Yeah, all right.
Yep.
All right, Jared Verse.
The Bears' 2nd pick.
Now, this is where it gets fun.
Oh, what are you going to do?
What will the Bears do? I think with Caleb Williams already going off the board, you got your quarterback. They still need a wide receiver. They need defense. What will they do here?
Dallas Turner. Not bad.
I think they're going to do something crazy here. I think Roma Dunze is going to go.
Whoa! I thought about putting him there. That makes sense. That would be scary.
Because then you get him to pair with...
Yep.
God damn it. We were just talking about him.
Caleb Williams.
No, not Caleb Williams.
DJ Moore.
No, the wide receiver from fucking... God damn it.
From who?
From the Chargers, sorry.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen went there.
Okay, well...
And he was at Caleb Williams Pro Day as well.
Day, yeah. I mean, that makes sense. It definitely would be nice to stack up on some weapons like that in the first 10 picks. Man, I just think like how many times Justin Fields got sacked. That is due to Justin Fields holding the ball for a long time. That offensive line does need a little help. So
yeah.
I will be interested to see if they either go wide receiver, there will be a good one there, or offensive lineman. So
it's tough. Yeah, when you got one of the top 2 wide receivers on the board, yeah, what do you do?
It's tough. So. All right, we're down to number 10.
The Jets.
The Jets, the new branded new unis Jets.
And nobody's really sure how that happened.
And I'm taking this straight out of the Owls playbook right here. I'm going Brock Bowers.
I think it's smart.
I think it makes sense, man.
We know the last few years in Green Bay, Rodgers loved the tight ends. Mercedes Lewis was the only first-round draft pick he ever threw a touchdown to, tight end.
Yep.
So I think it makes sense for the Jets, who are very lacking in the tight end room, to go and get Brock Bowers, who everybody says is, supposed to be the next it guy at tight ends.
It's crazy how underrated he kind of is. I mean, even being at like maybe a 9, 10, possibly lower pick, this was like a quintessential part of that high-powered offense, which Georgia has been at the top of college football the past 3 years, and he was a big part of it.
Yeah.
So I think you're getting an elite guy there.
All right, so we've got the Giants on the board again at 11 with the Vikings trade.
So I shook things up, and I threw the Giants to you at 11.
You did.
What are you gonna
Well,
do?
They got Drew Lock at QB, so
they don't need
set.
anything else.
They're set.
Well, Daniel Jones to run some QB scramble
I
drills.
forgot. They're still paying him like $47 million. I think they are going to go with. Oh man, this one's a tough one. I might have to go. Let me see here. All right, sorry for taking so long here.
The banner just comes. The ticker. The banner comes across the ticker. The pick is in.
Oh my god.
That's what I wanted to do. With
Okay, so I'm going to do something strange here. I think they are going to grab Quinion Mitchell.
Oh, wow. Wow, okay. That's not who I expected. The Giants taking a CB. All right. They don't really have any wide receivers right now. So
yeah, the top 2 just went off the board.
Yeah. They might have to. I mean, there's Keon Coleman that could probably get in the second round. There's a few others. There's that other guy from Texas.
I realized what you did here. You just, under the guise of giving me the first pick for being older, you just wanted to have the Broncos pick, dude.
I didn't even realize that, dude.
No. I see the games you play, dude. Broncos are on the board, Chad.
Well,
Who is
I guess
it?
I get the Chiefs pick, too. I didn't even realize
Oh, it's weird how you fucking finagled that to be
You
in
could
your
have been
favor.
like, no, you're the younger guy. You take the first pick, but you agreed to it.
I guess I could have. It's because you threw it out first.
Next time we'll flip it around next year.
We're going to have to.
Yeah.
Snake draft.
Well, the Broncos are going to take Latu. D-end.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. You can never go wrong with an edge rusher. And I think
they just need some help on defense.
They need help all
I
over.
think, like you said, the term I'm learning, the BPA, I think that's the
best
right
player
route to go.
available. So we've got the Raiders. Oh man, they need a few things here.
I know. It was so hard to predict where they might go.
Oh man. Well, with that, okay, that wasn't what I was expecting for you to do there. Okay, this is what I think is going to happen if that's the case. I think the Raiders will select Michael Penix Jr.
Whoa! Damn, that's a shocking one. Okay, all right. I know they really want Jaden Daniels, but I don't think there's any way that the Commanders are going to give him up.
That's how you get your second-rate Jaden Daniels,
Yeah.
A little more injury-prone, but
who knows? He may be able to
right.
stay healthy. That's a really interesting one. I dig that. I mean, Devontae Adams, 31 now. He's got to have
you're going to
somebody
roll in with
throwing to him.
Aiden Connell,
No way. Farva can't
Farva
get the job
Jr.
done. Love it. That's all I think.
New Orleans Saints at 14. We're almost halfway.
I know it. Amarius Mims, offensive tackle. Last year, Derek Carr suffered way too many sacks. That's also because he sucks, but they do need better protection there. Amarius Mims, I think he's the second highest rated offensive tackle in the
he might
draft.
be like second or third, depending on who you look at.
Yeah.
Amarius Mims.
That's who I'm taking.
Right.
I'm really interested to see after Thursday how close we get.
We are nowhere near what's going to happen.
Every year, I think we know. Never close.
All right. So we're at Indy. They've got their quarterback.
You already took the guy that I thought they were going to take, Mitchell. Quinn Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell, yeah. I think they are still going to take a cornerback.
They really wanted
And I
Snead.
think they are going to take Terrion Arnold out of Alabama.
You son of a bitch.
It's either that or they take the Great White Hope.
Oh, I know
Cooper Dijon. Dijon Mustard.
That's who I think the Packers are going to take. But
surprised.
I thought the Eagles were going to take Terrion Arnold, but I know he has a really high-rated CB, so I'm going to have to do a little research before mine come up.
All right, you got the Seahawks.
All right, Seahawks are going to go smart. They need some more protection for Geno Smith or whoever they may take like a Bo Nix.
I hope you pick the guy with the name. I think it is.
Troy Fontenot?
No, that's not it.
Who do you think I was going to take?
What is his name? Hold on a second. It's like Olamitu. it's wild.
Fashanu?
Olumuyiwa?
Fashanu.
Fashanu.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I almost didn't want to select him because I didn't
Who
want
was
to say
it
his
again?
name.
Sorry.
I selected Troy Fatanawu. I think that's how you say his name.
Phantom. Okay, yeah, all right. All right, on to the Jaguars. They also need everyone needs cornerbacks this year.
There's a lot available.
I think
good
they
way
are
to
going to go. Oh, man. I think they are going to grab Jerzon Newton.
Okay, where's he?
He is from
I don't have him on my board.
Illinois.
Okay. What position?
He's defensive line.
Okay, nice. Jaguars. Say his name one more time.
Jerzon Newton. JER''ZHAN Newton.
Gotcha. All right, that could help. Oh, they did just sign Josh Allen to that extension, so that would be a good pick to kind of bolster up that D line, make it a real scary defense. Okay, I dig it. All right,
The Bengals.
Number 18. I hate picking for this team because I just wish they didn't have any picks, but I got to. Nate Wiggins. They need some help with that defensive backfield. Ever since they lost Jesse Bates and a few other guys, they are going to select Nate Wiggins out of Clemson, cornerback.
Nate Wiggins. All right. So now we are at the Los Angeles Rams.
Hit it one more time. Let's just hit it. We're in the draft. We've got to hear it. Probably going to get a
Los Angeles
copyright
Rams
infringement.
are on the clock. They just lost one of the greatest defensive linemen ever.
Got to get a replacement.
I think they are going to take a replacement. I think they're going to get Byron Murphy the second.
A lot of analysts consider him as the best possible defensive lineman in the draft.
Now we are at the Steelers.
Well, now
in Russ we trust.
Exactly. Because they have Russ and Justin Fields there.
Justin Fields
guys
and
that
Russ.
are notorious for taking sacks. They're going to try to bolster up that line to make sure that doesn't happen. They're going to take J.C. Latham from Alabama.
J.C. Latham.
Yep.
All right. Moving to the Miami Dolphins.
We're rolling right
along.
They just lost Xavier Howard.
Yeah, and not to mention Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb are both
off huge injuries.
suffering huge injuries, season-ending injuries. They are going to go a linebacker, but who will they pick?
Oh, that's right. They did lose that. Was it Alonzo? I think so.
Yeah. They're going to take Peyton Wilson.
Oh, yeah. I saw that
linebacker for North Carolina State.
Yep. That's a good pick. That's a good linebacker.
All right.
Number
Chad,
22. Like
the
I
Eagles.
said, you already stole my Terrion Arnold pick, so they're going to mix it up and go drink the Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid
Cooper
McKinney.
Dijon. Oh, Kool-Aid McKinney.
Yep. The Eagles' defensive backfield was a black hole. Everybody could throw into it last year. People were carving them up. They got to try to bolster that.
All right. So
Out of Alabama, too.
the guy with the best name in the draft, Kool-Aid McKinney.
That's right.
Gone. Now we have the Vikings again, as we all initially thought they were going to package these deals up to get a QB, but not in our draft.
Mm-hmm.
So they... what all do they need still? Let me see here.
They need a lot.
Okay. I'm going to go with... Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver, LSU.
Oh, damn it. I got the Bills taking him. You son of a bitch. All right, that's a good pick. Going to the Vikings?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean,
Good.
you gotta
Well, you know,
take
Justin
some pressure.
Jefferson's going to leave anyways.
Yeah. Well, he's expected to sign a huge
see.
extension, so
see.
we'll see. Let me see
All
if I
right.
can filter this by...
It's America's team.
All right. Cowboys, they just lost Tyron Smith to the Jets. You know, they just got to go smart. But, you know, dude, I heard something that they have only 3 picks, like in the top 135 picks, I think it is. Going all in, huh, Jerry?
Yeah, well, there's also talks they could be trading Dak to the Broncos, so who knows?
Yeah, I would laugh at you guys. I would hope that would be the case. When I saw the meme, yeah. But, I mean, he's great throughout the season. That's when I saw that comparison, that Embiid is the Dak of the NBA. I was like, wow, that's so perfect.
That's pretty on
Can't
point.
win in the playoffs.
All right, so who's it going to be?
Graham Barton, offensive line.
Graham Barton. They got to replace Tyron Smith, so Graham Barton it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now the Packers are on the board. One more time.
You love to hear it.
You love to hear it. You need it. You want some more of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Packers need some help on defense. I think they are going to go defensive line, though. Let's see here. Let me see. Let me look into this. Let me do some hardcore, you know, just anything. Chop Robinson.
Oh, damn. You keep taking my picks.
Yes, this is just like the actual draft.
I know, it really is. It's like fantasy.
Or the fantasy draft.
That's who I had the Bucks taking.
Chad basically picked every best player on his draft and then was mad that everybody took him from him.
That's what happened. Fucking Derek. Derek stole all my picks.
He took my pick. Damn it, that was my pick.
Chop. What a name. Chop Robinson.
Chop Robinson.
I'm chopping you away. Going to the Packers.
The Packers. Chop out
All
of
right.
Pitt.
Well, the Bucks. Well, now I got to look at D end. Oh, this is easy. Darius Robinson from Missouri.
Darius Robinson.
All right.
They're both named Robinson?
Yeah, wow, they are. I didn't even...
Back-to-back Robinsons.
Maybe they're brothers.
All right, the Cardinals. The Cardinals are on the clock again.
27.
What are they going to do? They got their wide receiver of the future. I think they're going to go with the great white hope, Cooper Dijon, to the Cardinals.
Cooper Dijon. That's a good one.
Dijon Mustard.
Yep.
All right. Buffalo Bills are on the clock.
All right. Who's that guy, that little white dude that Josh Allen used to throw to?
Oh,
Sort of-
God.
I'm trying to think of his name, and it's bothering me right now.
Blonde dude.
Yeah, long blonde hair. He's like a little slot receiver.
With a D or something, dude. God.
I know it, dude. I can't.
I'm just gonna Google blonde white slot receiver.
It'll probably come up. Well, they're gonna replace him because he's been gone the past couple of years, and I thought Josh Allen was really good with a good slot, shifty guy like that, and they're gonna take Ladd McConkey from Georgia.
The Swiss Army knife.
That's right. I think that'll be good
Ladd
for the Bills.
McConkey
I mean,
to
they
the
lost
Bills.
Stephon Diggs. They're going to go wide receiver.
I'm gonna be so mad.
Dude,
when this
it's
pops
just
up.
like on the tip of my tongue. That's why I got to stop hitting the pin before the podcast.
Damn it. This is not what I needed.
I know. Get you in your brain.
Well, now I'm on Ranker. I've got the 25 best white receivers.
Oh, well, that's going to go for a while.
This is Braxton Berrios. Oh, I feel like I'm so close. Okay, anyways, we're going to continue. Damn it, dude. What is his name? All right, Detroit Lions are on the board.
Who are they going to take?
Who are they going to take? The Lions. What do they need? Oh, man. I'm trying to think of what the Lions need. Defense. They're looking defense. Okay. All right. Defense. I think they are going to go with Chris Braswell of Alabama.
What position?
He would be an edge / defensive lineman.
Oh, that's a good call because Aiden Hutchinson did not have any help.
Yeah, and look at what he did.
Yeah.
With no help.
Cole Beasley.
Yes!
Got it. Found it.
Nice.
I typed in 2021 roster. That's what it was.
That was probably smart.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for is a replacement
Sometimes
for that
I like
type
to
of
try
guy.
and Google like really like on the nose things like white slot receiver.
That's pretty general.
And see what pops up.
Yeah. There's gonna be a lot of them.
All right. So
Okay.
the Ravens.
All right. Well, they just lost Patrick Queen to the Steelers, their rival, so they got to replace him, and they're going to take Cedric Gray. This dude's a badass. I think he's from UNC.
Gray.
Linebacker.
All right.
All right. We're getting down toward the end.
All right. So we got the San Francisco 49ers.
They just lost Eric Armstead.
Yeah. I think they're gonna go O-line here, though, and I just want to say this name. I think they're gonna take Olumiyiwa Fashanu.
I think it's
Fashanu.
Yeah, like he's a fashionista.
What the?
I think
that's
that's
a
smart.
wild name, dude.
I don't know if they lost an offensive lineman, but it's always smart.
Olumiyiwa.
Keep those guys healthy.
Olumiyiwa.
I think it's a cool name. Well, that's smart. Offensive linemen in the first round, most of those guys always hit.
Well, and he's technically up there top 4, depending on where you look. He's rated in the top 4, and he's all the way down there at 20.
I know
30.
that's the thing is like there's so many weapons and skill players
31.
taken in the first round. I think there's a lot of good offensive linemen that can be taken in the late rounds.
All right, Chad.
And that leads me to the Chiefs.
One more time.
Pick. Yep. Brett Veach and the Kansas City Chiefs will select Jordan Morgan, offensive tackle, Arizona.
Okay, Jordan.
You heard it here first.
Jordan
Number
Morgan.
2 in pass blocking rate in all of college football, just under Joe Alt last year. Going to fall to the Chiefs. We got to replace Donovan Smith. He's too old.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
That brings us to the end of the Fringe Fanatics inaugural 2024 mock draft. We made it.
We did it.
So
I'm proud of us, man.
it is time now, as it always is at the end of the show, for the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, John Daly. He's
and
going to
only.
hit it hard, man.
I hit it hard, man. So far, man. No laying up, no holding back. Ain't afraid of nothing, it's a natural fact. I hit it long, man. Till it's gone, man. Keep taking chances, living large. I hit it
hard.
Man.
All right.
We're going to do a quick one this time.
Gentlemen, It's a quick one.
Yeah.
It's touching on what we've already touched on, the Denver Nuggets, and we want to give a big shout-out to Michael Porter Jr., who, in the face of adversity, has looked to those around him, the family that he created, to escape from the family he was dealt.
Yep.
And he is thriving and surviving. Not even just surviving. He's just thriving.
Yep.
He's just thriving.
We don't need to get into the weeds of it, but unfortunately, a couple of his brothers have been making some poor decisions over the last year and a half or so. One of them getting banned by the NBA, the other one
for life.
Just on Friday, the day before the first playoff game of this Nuggets playoff run, his brother was sentenced to 6 years in prison. And so MPJ, we wanted to dedicate this daily dose of excellence, not just to him for striving through this and playing well, even through adversity, but more or less what he said about the team when he said, yeah, my brothers have... He was asked about this, and that's a tough question to be asked in the locker room after a game. And after they won on Saturday night, a reporter asked him how he's dealing with this tough time. And when he said, I've got a couple brothers that have been basically in a bad place right now, he goes, I've got 15 or 16 other brothers right here that's been right here for me. And I just think that was cool shit.
Yeah, and we were going to kind of roll it into how the game ended last night with Jamal Murray basically having one of his worst shooting performances
over a 2-game stretch.
Yeah,
too.
Basically over a 2-game stretch. But the first 3 quarters, I was like, man, it looks like he forgot how to play basketball. And then he comes through, hits shots in the fourth quarter. I think he goes like 8 of 12 in the fourth quarter for like 16 points, and hits the game winner over Anthony Davis. And at the end of the game, he's like, it's all my brothers, it's this family right here that were like egging me on, like, just keep shooting, don't stop.
Yep.
You can't, because he was sitting down and the timeouts and being like, I'm going to be looking for you guys, just basically saying like, I got to get rid of the ball,
right?
So I'm going to be looking for you guys, and they're like, no, man, just keep shooting, shooting. And he trusted the process, and here we go. And that's the same thing that Michael Porter Jr. is doing. You look at trying to find his playoff summary here. But
he's been doing all right.
He's doing really well this year, considering everything that's going on. What I had pulled up is definitely not.
I'll touch on another
thinking.
stat that's pretty amazing that Stephen A. actually keeps mentioning, and he doesn't ever really give the Nuggets a whole lot of credit. But one thing that he does notice, and this is a real standout point of theirs, they have 159 more minutes between their starting 5 than the second team, than the next second place when it comes to that category.
Yeah.
That is so many minutes beyond second place and anybody else in the league, because of everybody else has had a crappy hand with injuries or just not being able to find the right rotation of guys. But the Nuggets have been playing with this starting 5. We've had new guys like Bruce Brown left, but like Malone said last night, I watched the press conference because I was so hyped up on adrenaline afterwards. He said multiple times.
30.
Nice. I don't blame you.
Not really.
He goes, family. This is what it's all about, family.
Yeah.
He goes, it's unconditional. And when those guys just kept telling Murray to go shoot, Murray even used the words. He's like, I got 15, 16 brothers here that just support me. So we may be a little biased talking about how the Nuggets deserve this, but everybody deserves it. And guess what? We get to talk about whatever we want. So we're going to talk about our Nuggets up 2-0, being there for Michael Porter, being there for Murray.
They're here to fuck shit up.
Yeah, don't worry.
But yes, this goes out to the Nuggets. We don't get to do it that often, so cheers to them. Cheers to Michael Porter Jr., who's just lighting it up. He's shooting 54% from the field and 48% from 3.
And Jokic
in the playoffs.
27, 20, and 10 last night.
Yeah, he's the 4th player, or he's
done it 4 times.
Of the 7 people to do it, he's done it 4.
Yeah.
So
it's unreal.
It's just always a new thing with Jokic. It's just some crazy stat. So here's to MPJ, here's to the Nuggets.
And here's to Malone for creating such a family atmosphere there, which is really what having a championship team is all about.
Exactly. Here's to creating the family you want, not dealing with the family you've been dealt. How's
well
that?
said, sir.
Cheers on
Episode 80. Thanks for listening, guys. Love you.
Oh, I forgot to mention it during the show, but we do have a new store up on Threadless, fringefanatics.threadless.com. You can buy a whole bunch of different shit.
We'll be
with
posting
all
a link.
of our logos on it. So check that out. We will be back next week, episode 81. We love each and every one of you guys. We'll
Love you
catch
guys.
you later. Toodles!